Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday morning. We're doing another Living Freestyle live stream. We do these every Sunday night and Wednesday morning. My name's Kevin. I actually I'm lucky enough to work in games professionally. I do a lot of really cool, fun stuff at work. But there's a lot of really cool, fun stuff I don't get to do at work. And usually what we do is we hang out here and ask questions. We work at like office hours, people come, go, etc. That's totally cool. And if there are no questions and nobody's here, then I get to spend time fumbling through, trying to work through stuff that I don't know how to do with you all. And because we haven't had a whole lot of visitors, I get to spend a lot of time stumbling, working on my game effectively. And right now we're working on enemy AI, mostly focused on AI stuff, but we're starting to get to a point where we might be switching gears. So we'll see how that goes. Just checking the chats and also the levels to make sure that everything's cool. And then we'll get started. Let's see here. Let's check our playlist real quick. Live. We have no questions from previous streams, it looks like. Nope. All right, cool. So with that, let's just go ahead and roll. Figure out where we are. We have not had a bunch of time to get a lot done since the last time because of life fun stuff. But let's just keep our chat up here so we can see. All right, so where are we? We're working on red versus blue. It's going pretty well. They're shooting each other, they're fighting, etc. We'll just go ahead and run this sim. There's a couple things that I know we have to fix, but I'm also thinking we're just gonna open this up. So, we've got 10. Oh, interesting. We got the reds are definitely shooting. The blues are not. I must have done something to the ability tree. Because all the blues are doing is finding random spots and sitting still. I think I vaguely remember doing that. Now, one of the things that's happening is we still have problems with friendly fire. Our oranges and reds, our warm team, Team Red, they're accidentally shooting each other in the back because they don't understand teams again. So let's just take a look at a couple things. Let's bring back our tree. Okay. And as you can see, this is what's happening here. This is why our blues are not fighting back. So just to make sure that's the case, let's just bring this in. We'll get rid of this selector altogether. Just do a quick double check. This should bring them back so that they're fighting. Yeah, now everybody's fighting. Red versus blue. Whoa, did you see that dude go flying off into space? That is something that we are definitely going to... It's one of the things that drives me nuts most about the believability of this right now is just the way the physics stuff is working. It's driving me nuts. The way they bounce off each other and feel super floaty, but we'll sort that out later. They're back to floating, or they're back to killing each other again. That's great. Let's get rid of this nav volume. And then we can go back to 1 nav volume. I want to try something here. There's a couple tests that we need to run. So we'll get rid of this nav volume. Let's take this, let's open our map back up. And I want to test our weapon spawning and the variability of when they spawn with weapons and if they don't spawn with weapons. So right now we're just opening up our nav volume. So that they can move through the whole map. let's move our team red to this side and team blue to this side. Okay. So what should happen here? We should have our reds and blues spawning. And what is this? Oh, that's an environment weapon BP. Interesting. Is it actually spawning anything right now? No, it's not actually spawning anything right now. So they should just ignore that. If we have any luck. Okay, so here comes our reds with blues. Interestingly enough, it actually looks like they formed up when they moved. That was kind of cool. And our reds too. Our reds are doing flying Vs. Now, okay, here's what's happening. They can see each other, but they're not in range to shoot. So they're just standing there. Enemy 11. Let's just double check that I'm right on this. So enemy 11. Yep. Okay, so they're definitely in the range loop. They're in wait. They're going to the shoot task. And then in the shoot task for enemy 11. This is false. So basically, this is returning false. Alright, so this is a problem in our blueprint. If they're not, what's happening is they're not, they're probably just still standing there. They are. Okay. Ooh, that blue moved. Oh, he got smoked. Ah, somebody switched weapons. Somebody switched weapons. It looks like the blues did. Because the effective range on... It's still not there. So there's a couple things. One, we can... I obviously, I don't think that's too far for a rifle. I think it's reasonable that a rifle should shoot that far. So we do want to fix that. But at the same time, we're not going to yet, because what I want to happen is I want these dudes to do one of two things. I want them to change to a different longer range weapon, or I want them to find a new spot in range. So to do that, we need to take a look at, I guess enemy 11 got smoked, so we can't use that dude anymore. Enemy, oh, our first enemy is doing it too. Enemy 0. All right, so what we want is, so this is failing. The problem is, we're shooting when we're not in range. So this fails and it kicks out of here and it just keeps coming back through here. What we need to do is, maybe part of our shoot is to check that we're within range. And if we're not, maybe we move to being in range. Are we doing that anywhere else? Yeah, because we're coming through this strategize tasks as well. Set focus, set target info. Okay, so let's check our, we can kick out of this. Let's just stop our debugging. Let's look at our strategize task real quick. No, this can't be our strategy. Here we go. Lots of going on here. Where's my search? Let's bring it up this way. Find references. Range. Random integer range. That's not it. Because in here, I thought we choose weapon. Choose equipped weapon. All right. So we definitely call choose equipped weapon, and we're doing that for loadout. So where's loadout get called? Find our references. We load out after. Oh, interesting. Leader blackboard gets the strategy type, and then it does a loadout. So we load out no matter what in here. It's interesting. Almost no matter what. Yep. And loadout is basically checking to see if we need a loadout. We're getting the controller, and then we're choosing our equipped weapon and our skill. Why would we not need to load out? Choose equipped weapon. Find references. There's only one. Find references everywhere. That's the actual function. So we only do that once. That's interesting. I wonder how they swap weapons. All right, so we get our inventory items in here. Then we're getting our distance to target. And then we're looking at the effective range of our weapons. And if the distance, the effective range is greater than distance to target, and the ability level is greater than or equal to ability level check, then we're going to set our ability level check and we're going to equip that weapon. So the first thing we do when we come in here is we set our ability. Okay, cool. So every time we come in here, we're going to reset. We're going to choose a new weapon. That at least works. And then we're going to set full. If this is false because we don't have weapons, we're going to do loadout. Interesting. Problem with that is in here, we were doing, where was that? We're only doing this. Oh, we're setting the B loadout to false. I see. Okay, that's resetting. Okay, cool. So now we know where we're getting our weapons. Here's the thing. Nowhere in here. We don't have anywhere in here where if our distance to target is if we're too far away. Oh yeah, we do. Hold on a second. The problem is in our strategize task, it's in here because basically what's happening is our ranged characters aren't finding a spot that's close enough. So that's what we need to look at. Actually, it's not in there, it's in here. When we update our current attack position, I need to find everywhere we're doing this. This is the problem. Okay, so we are definitely doing it on the fight melee side. I don't see updating our attack position on the range side. That's not good. And move 2 is getting set for finding weapons, which we already have, so we're not doing that. And our strategize are resetting. Dude, no worrying here. Dude, this is simple. This is simple. I think this is simple. Let's do this. Let's strategy type is 1 or strategy type is 2. I feel like these two things for updating our position should happen whether we're ranged or we're melee. And this is where I feel like this whole thing would be a whole lot simpler if ranged and melee were just the attack and you just do your attack rather than doing shoot and doing melee. We would just do attack, and that would like dramatically simplify a bunch of this stuff, I think, because we could just condense this all down to 1, but we're not going to do that right now. Because what we're going to do is we're just going to test, see if that works. So this is that, it does our parallel, this is our move 2. Okay, that's our do skill. Here's our shoot. Do skill, aim, set, focus, wait, aim, set, focus, set, running. Where does the melee actually do the attack? Set running, set focus, move to, update, aim, do skill. Oh, because the melee is considered a skill. I see. Okay, so if it was a fireball, it's a fireball. If it's melee, it's a skill. Okay, so let's clean this up. This isn't even connected. All right, we'll get rid of this as well. We'll move this over. We could probably get rid of this do skill altogether. And but if we did this with an EQS, we wouldn't have to do this in here at all. And all this would be just looking at target or whatever we're doing. So we're gonna tell our friends, we're gonna do all that, and then interesting. We're gonna shoot and then we're going to do our skill right back to back. Not a super huge fan of that, but let's see here. Okay. So we're gonna come in. We could do this with a selector. I think that might be cleaner. No to execute the children left right. We'll stop executing children when one of the children succeeds. Okay. That's fine. So we can just put these under here to make this clear. So we're basically selecting this. And I don't think we need to force success here. We should be able to leverage not forcing success. Okay. We're setting our focus. That's still fine. And then this is the move to simple parallel stuff. And so with that, we're gonna do the move to update last known for target, aim start, do skill, I think. Well, let's just see what happens with that to start with. All right, they're moving. So that part of it. It's interesting enough, they're all moving and... Oh, wait. It's interesting because they moved way too close. Like, why are they going so close as ranged characters? Okay. They don't need to go so close. Why would they be going so close? Update current attack position. There's got to be something going on in there. Let's take a look. Holy goodness of blueprints, Batman. Alright, so we're gonna come in here. We're gonna do our enemy. This is all of our attack ring stuff. I wonder if his ranged is set. And then we're gonna get all the actors on my team. Sure, it's not us. That's gonna do all the ring count stuff. Then we're gonna find a ring. And then once we've found the ring, we're gonna claim the ring. We're gonna set our ring radiuses. Okay, and then location a check. Okay. This might get a little bit confusing because on one hand, do we want to pick a position? Okay, so do we want to pick a position based on the weapon that we have equipped, or do we want to equip the weapon based on the position we're in? And I think the answer is sometimes both. So how do we even make one of these work? So let's just start with making one of these work. And let's reduce our case here. Let's get this down to a reasonable number of enemies to debug. Let's just go 2. And let's go actually, let's go 1. And then let's re-enable our blues are doing nothing thing. And then what we can do with that is, I don't know if we need to do anything. Then we can just troubleshoot the reds. So when we play, enemy 0. Okay, he doesn't seem to be coming in here. There we go. Who is this? This is our current attack enemy has spawned, alright? And just for visual reference, he's over there. I'm going to come in. We're clearing our attack rings. That's fine. set this breakpoint here. We can just assume that works. Okay, we're going to set up our location to check. We are ranged, so our ring start is going to be 3. All right. Then we're going to loop through all of our team actors, which there are none. Hold on a second. Why did that? I want to break here. Okay, that's weird. It never hits that. Hold on a second. For each one, we're gonna go through and do a thing. And true, false. Somehow we're kicking out of this. I don't see how that's possible, actually. Because we're not returning in here. These are all just branches. Okay. Ah, I see. We are hitting here, not where my breakpoint was. Okay. So we're coming to here. And then our local ring index is false. So we're going to come down here. We're going to cast this to actor so that we can get our location. Our actor location, we're going to check our distances. And the result of this is true. So that means that we're already in a spot. And what's going to happen is we're not going to do anything. So what I want is I want to break on find new spot. Taking out all these breakpoints. Okay, so now we find a new spot. And the reason we're doing that is I guess, let's see here. The distance from our location to check is greater than the ring index, which should be 3 times the ring radius. And that should be less than the ring index plus 1, which should be 4 times the ring radius. Oh, interesting. Okay. And it has to be less than that. So we're not, he's not in the ring, basically. So, okay, that's fine. That's sort of our interesting issue here. Okay, here's what I want to do. I want to draw these 2 spheres, actually. So let's draw debug sphere. I think what's happening is, I think this is where we need to intercept this. And we just need to confirm it. So we're going to bring back our ring radiuses. 1 and... Actually, let's make the duration 3. Thickness of 1. And the inside is going to be nice light pink. Good morning, XRPA. Okay, Keanu Leaves, what's up, dude? There's some crypto fans out there. All right, so then we're gonna take, how's it going this morning, Keanu? I want this radius, and I want this radius. And we're going to draw these 2 lines, and now we can see what our enemies are doing. All right, so red versus blue continues. what we should see, buy high, sell low. There you go. What we should see is the red team red, which is one dude right now. He should pick a spot when he finds his target, and we should see those spheres show up. So he may have to kill that dude first, but right now he's not in range, so. Or actually right now he's moving to the spot, which is why he's not shooting. But what's messed up is the spot is... He's not even going to that section of code. I don't really understand what's happening here. But he is following him. The aiming thing is a little troubling. Why is he not... Why are we not seeing these debug spheres? Oh, oh no, I connected this wrong. Okay, that's why I connected this wrong. So this still needs to be connected here. Ooh, this is why this is dangerous when your blueprint scripts go too far. Okay, what we need is this false. This is the false we want to see. So now we should see our spheres. All right, so red's gonna spawn. There he is. And let's see where he draws, where he's going to. Right now he doesn't even see the blues yet because they're too far away for his AI perception. There we go. Now, I'm not a huge fan of that radius. Where's he going? Is he getting there? Okay, hold on a second. The spot he's picking is over there, but he's shooting the dude right here. What? The reason he's not drawing spheres now is he's already in. Oh, I know why. I'm a genius, that's why. Okay, so here's what's happening. I'm not actually putting the spheres where they're supposed to be in space. So they're just at the origin. That's why it doesn't show up where around the character we think it's supposed to show up around. It's not happening. And I also want the outside to be a nice bright, let's make it bright red so we can tell the difference between the inner radius and the outer radius. And then let's feed our location to check into both of these so the spheres actually draw around the target we're going to. All right, so here we go. Red's going to spawn behind me. There he is, facing the wall. Go to your corner. Still doesn't see the blues because they're too far away. Come on, little buddy. Let's go. He's patrolling, which is cool. He just targeted himself and ignored it, which is also good. He's acquired a target. It's that guy? Okay, our spheres are in the wrong place again, still. Wait, why is location a check? What is going on here? Are we already in a spot? And what we're checking. Alright, this math hurts my head. At this point, the location we're checking is location we're in currently. Okay. But why? Why? Why are we checking our current location here? We should be checking our current location to see if it is... Oh, here's our target actor. Okay. So we're checking our location against the target actor. We're getting that distance. And we're seeing what the deal is with that. Okay, so, and if it's all of those things, if we're in the rings from that spot, then we're just going to do this. And if not, we're going to find a new spot. All right. So bring our red person back. All right, this dude is okay. So this is the dude we're going after. Okay, I don't like this. Did you see that? Look at the radius that he's supposed to go into is so tight. It's not even. Oh, interesting. So first off, he's supposed to be the spot he's picking is supposed to be between those pink and red spheres. But he's clearly not going in there. He's much, much closer. Which totally doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So let's see if we can figure that out. So in the case of false, we're going to find a new spot. When we go find a new spot, oh my goodness. Let's figure out what we're doing here. We're getting a random point in the reachable radius for the last enemy location. I don't know why we're doing that. Like, why would we do that? Why wouldn't we do that based on the target actor? Like, he's going to where he last saw the enemy as opposed to where they currently are. But anyways, let's just roll with that. So we're getting a random location. We're doing this 10 times. All right. And for each of those 10 times, we're checking to see if that location distance is greater than the ring index and the last enemy location distance is less than the ring index plus 1. And if that's true, we're going to find a path there. And if we successfully find one, we're setting our location to check our attack position, move to location. Okay, that part seems reasonable. That part seems reasonable. And what we can do is in here, when we're complete, we come in, we get a random location for the reachable radius. We set that as our location to check one more time. And if it fails, then we don't even do anything. That's kind of weird. I don't understand that. And if it's false, then we're getting the team ID. We're getting a random point around ourselves. Actually, this isn't even being used. That's just a color. We're getting a random point around ourselves. We're setting our location to check, which, okay. And then we're just setting that as our move to location. Okay. So, a couple things in our logic that are messed up here. First off, I do not think we should be using last enemy location here. I think we should be using, because this is update current attack position. We should know where our target is if we're updating our attack position. So all of these should probably be using the target actor, not the last enemy location. It's working right now because we're setting our last enemy location, but okay. Now, whenever we're testing these spots, let's go ahead and draw a sphere here. So we're gonna draw a debug sphere here. This sphere that gets drawn should be where the actual location that he's checking. We'll make it white. We'll make it a duration of 3 and a thickness of 3 and a size of 40, just so it's reasonable. All right, so now what's gonna happen is we're going to see the attack rings that he's going to, and we could probably move him a little closer because, yeah, let's move him closer because this is, he's locked. He needs our help. Dude's need help. All right, let's cheat him a little closer. Play now. Okay, so all right, this was where he went to. This white circle is kind of over in this square area over here. Now, interestingly enough, he is so the pink sphere is the inner radius, the red sphere is the outer radius, the white sphere is where he's supposed to move to. However, dude still moves in on the enemy he's shooting. And the thing that's bad about that is he's a ranged character. Somebody else somewhere is changing our attack position. It's the only thing I can think of. So let's see if we can figure out where that's happening. So our update current attack position is definitely drawing the white spheres. And in our ability tree, what's happening is we're in ranged. Ooh. There's an interesting tell friends task there. There's a set target and there's this move to update attack position moving target task. All right, I think this is probably our culprit. Let's see what this dude does. All right, execute the AI. We're getting the blackboard, we're finding control pawn, we're finding a new spot. And in here, when we find a new spot, we are not even looking at our attack rings or anything like that, or whether we're ranged or any of that. None of this is being used. Wait a minute. Is it not being used? No, it's not being used. Okay. Let me finish it. Okay, great. So this is why our ranged characters are moving to here. And I think what we want to do, why is this called moving target? Theoretically, if we just connect this in here, I think this will fix our problem. So let's just test. Okay, we got our blues. Where's our red? Whoa, holy cow, that's a lot of redraws. But look at that. He went to a ranged spot. Thank goodness. So now he's not going up in their faces to shoot the gun. He's a little confused here. Whoa. Holy spinning top, Batman. Okay, so let's go back to this. Do we even need to do this? Why do we have a moving target version of this? Finding a new spot. Getting the attack ring claims. Interesting. Problem is, what we want is we want our finding new spot to take into account our attack rings for ranged characters. Okay, so I think, okay. I don't like this. I don't like this. I think what we need to do can we do this? We're gonna, while we're moving to, we're gonna shoot. See what happens with that. This could be interesting. Ultimately, this is not what we want to do. Okay, he just switched guns. That's cool. Wait, are they shooting each other? What's happening here? Oh. Oh, that's wild. Okay. It's interesting. It kind of works. But you see all those sparks that are happening? What's happening is his bullets are hitting each other because he's shooting too fast. I mean, it looks cool, but it's definitely not what we're doing. And he's trying to find new targets. Okay, cool. So let's do this. Let's put a cooldown on this. Can we do a cooldown? Where's our cooldown? If we put a cooldown of 0.2 seconds. Shreyan Sharma, what's up, dude? That is a surfer thing, so it's not meant to be one way or another, but how's it going this morning? I spend too much time kite surfing and talk like I live on a beach. Are you working on any games today, or are you just hanging out in the stream? All right, so we're bringing back our red guy again. And this time he should only shoot every point so many seconds. Is he in range yet? Oh, he's not shooting at all. What? Oh, because the cool. Wait, did he finally shoot? He did finally shoot. I mean, it looks like he's trying to shoot. Okay, he did shoot. There's something about this cooldown though that is failing. So let's try this a different way. Let's do this. We should be able to do this like this. I have not personally had a whole lot of successes with those. So I'm going to drop in a sequence. I'm going to do the shoot, and then I'm going to wait. And I'm going to wait for 0.5 seconds. I should be able to do a cooldown. It should do the same thing. The problem with the cooldown is what it can do is it will cause the sequence to fail, which triggers different things. All right, turn around, dude. There we go. What's your thought on the... Oh man. Well, this is we're making games here, and hopefully this is a spot where people can kind of take a break from thinking about that stuff. But I definitely have some thoughts for sure. All right, shooting every 0.5 seconds. Finding a spot. And he's moving again. All right, this is all working now. The interesting thing is, I don't know why he turns around when there's another target right there. His target acquisition's a bit slow for me. I think we're going into a whole lot of craziness, just in general. I'm super impressed and you know, kind of proud at how well they, you know, how Ukraine is standing up for themselves and carried themselves throughout this whole thing. I am not an economist. I think things were looking pretty rough even before this. And so, I don't know. Look at that, the bullet shoots sideways. He's not even facing the targets. Why is he not facing the target? Oh, because he's moving too. Okay, so we got a little bit sidetracked here. All right, so here's what's happening. This has gotten all kind of crazy. We're aiming. So we're setting our focus, then we're waiting, then we're updating our attack position, and then we're setting our focus on the target, then we're doing our move to, we're shooting, and we're doing our skill. This setting focus on target, what does this do? It sets focus to the player controller. That is completely useless. That is not what we want. Let's do this. What we want to do is let's cast this to enemy AI. All right, and the reason we're going to do this is because we want to set our focus to our target actor if it's valid. So let's get our blackboard here. So we'll get the blackboard, and then we're going to get a value as an object, and we're going to make a string literal from that. And this is going to be our target actor. All right, and then what we're going to do with that is we are going to connect all this in. We're not going to set our focus to be the controlled pawn because that doesn't help us. We're going to get our blackboard as an object. The target actor is what we are going to use to set our new focus to if it's valid. So let's just check and see if it's valid first. If it's valid, then we're going to set focus to it. Okay? And then we're going to finish our execute successfully. Oh, interesting. I need the AI control. Are you kidding me? That can't be right. Set focus is an actor object reference. Oh, it doesn't know what it is. Okay. Cool. We just need to do one more cast. All right, so let's cast this. Let's cast this to an actor. And then once we cast this to an actor, if that's successful, then we should be able to feed that actor in to our AI focus. Okay, and then we should return false. for any of these cases where it doesn't succeed. I've been mulling this over, Shreyan. I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong. Shreyanish. I could just go with Sharma for short. I've been mulling this over. You know, how much you want to share, but some of this is about me being me too. So, I will say one thing that actually kind of I'm pretty dang disappointed isn't even a strong enough word. I would say I'm pretty ticked off about it. The fact that the parties involved in the Budapest memorandum, UK and the US, aren't honoring that. That's the part that really gets me. I feel like we said we were going to do a thing, and we've not done that. And I am really impressed with, again, the way Ukraine has handled it. Pretty dang disappointed with the people who have not honored that agreement. And that's just an honor thing. We gave somebody our word, and we're not honoring that. All right, so if all this is true, then we're going to set our target and we're going to return success. So hopefully now, when he switches between targets, he'll actually face the target and not sideways. All right, so we got that guy. Target acquisition is so slow. And why does he face off into nowhere afterwards? But it is working now. He's actually facing who he's shooting, which is cool. It looked like he switched targets there. Like, what is he doing between that he's confused that there aren't like a ton of people for him to shoot at between these shots? Doesn't make any sense. All right, so right now, where is he? Oh, what? He's injured. How's he injured? Hold on, I'm looking for his health bar. He thinks he's in flight mode. Hold on. We're gonna play this again. That dude should not be going. First off, what is this dude? This is enemy. This is the first enemy. He went into flight. How's he even getting into flight? He shouldn't come in here unless he's not healthy. Okay. So let's see. We're checking. This is for enemy 0. We're getting our owner controller. Yeah, I know there's no debug data. Come on. We get our control pawn. We're casting it to enemy. We're checking target actor. Why are we doing this? What? This doesn't look right at all. So we're checking is healthy. But the person we're checking whether we're healthy on is our target? Why would we do that? That doesn't make any sense to me at all. I don't think we need this. I don't know what I was thinking. That must have been one of those late night sessions. Okay, so basically, target is dying. What does the target is dying have to do with us being is healthy? I don't think we need any of this. Okay, this is where I wish we had perf4 set up, because I'm about to make some sweeping changes that will definitely have an impact. I don't think is dying even matters. Okay, and if the cast succeeds, we want to get controlled pawn. We don't even need to cast an enemy AI here. We just need to take the controlled pawn and get the health and the max health divide if it's greater than by 0.5. Why was I doing all of this? If it's not greater than 0.5, we're going to turn to 0. I know we're gonna. This is probably gonna. I obviously thought about what I was doing there. I can't remember why I did it, but I feel like this is gonna come back and haunt me a little bit. Okay. So let's see if we're going into flight again. How did that dude over there get red? Okay, we're no longer going into flight. So does that mean his target acquisition is better? Is that what's happening? Seems to be. Okay, that's what's happening. So, all right, we're gonna fix this because we're actually coming up on time. We're actually a little bit over. But what is happening right now is he is still shooting at targets that are dead. So let's stop and run this again. All right, so he's going to come in. His first target. He's still tracking. He's not looking at the target he's shooting at. That's sort of troubling. But see, the dude's dead and he's still shooting him. That was what the is dying thing was all about. And I think we just put it in the wrong place. So there's a couple things we need to fix here. Okay. With our new setup, And also, what's he doing right now? So with our new setup, all right, two things that we're going to be working on for next time or between now and next time. One, we need to get our not shooting at already dead people, dead enemies. So that should be, that's one thing we're going to fix. The other thing we're going to fix is because of our new setup and movement stuff, he is shooting people, he's not actually facing, which just looks really bad. So we've actually moved ourselves into kind of a worse spot as a result of this, but we also uncovered some things that we definitely need to fix. We are getting closer. The other thing that I want to take a look at is, you'll notice that this radius, when you see these pink and orange, or pink and red spheres, those are the ring radiuses where he's choosing to stand as he's attacking an enemy. Like he's going to that white spot within that radius. And the problem with that is, the intent was those ring radiuses were going to get further apart, like broader as it goes out, because it's not as important. And it looks like they're just still saying the same width. So those are a few things that we're going to take a look at next time, which is going to be Sunday evening. So as I wrap this up, Keanu leaves. Thanks for hopping in. Sharma, also thanks for hopping in. I love the crypto chat in the game dev in the game dev stream. That's awesome. For those of you that weren't here, no worries. If you have questions that you want us to go over for next time, just throw those in the chat. I'll try to get rid of those. I'm not gonna try to get rid of those. I'll try to review those before the next time so we can cover some of those questions if there are any. Otherwise, it looks like next time we're going to be working on our enemy AI target acquisition and movement as well as placement, which should be cool. Hopefully we're getting closer where we're going to move on to some other things, but we don't know. And as far as, world events and things like that, those are always fun conversations to be had. I'm not an economist, but and I don't want us to go into a recession, but things are looking rough. So anyways, we'll see. That's why they have all those people out there that mastered in those things where I was working on software and electrical engineering and stuff like that, so that we have fun things to do as we go into a recession, and playing games is one of those. So we're gonna make some games in these chats. Sweet, later.